Good morning, good morning, good morning, Facebook. How are you all doing today? This is Janie tuning in live for our Friday morning Akashic Record meditation and talk. So it's Friday. Good work. You made it. You made it to the end of the week. And it was an intense week for some of us. Some of us, we kind of just rolled through it and made it to the end. So today, I've been doing a lot of work around remembering. I had the opportunity to connect with one of my soul sisters, Isa, this past week for the Lion's Gate, and then also had the opportunity to go to Serpent Mound. And as these spiritual experiences are coming up for me in my path and in my life, I can't help but think that I've done it before. I mean, we have done it before. And what that looks like and why in this lifetime things are coming up again clearly, but also without any like pretenses to them. It's kind of like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to show up and do this without actually even knowing what it means for my soul alignment. So the Akashic Records, when we open the Akashic Records, and they're open now for the collective, when we open the Akashic Records, we have an opportunity to look at past lives. These records, it's like this universal book for the individual. So every single person has their own record, and we write our own record. It's not from the beginning of this life, it's from the beginning of our soul's life. So our soul goes on these journeys, having multiple different incarnations to ultimately teach us about our lessons, our purpose. And so we may be incarnated in one life as the mother of our sister. Cool. And maybe we needed to learn something being in that relationship with them. We may be incarnated as a slave in a past life, and now we're incarnated as a great teacher and leader of humility. So these past lives that we have are about the lessons. It's not necessarily about the relationship that we have with other people in that past life, although it can be. It's about what our soul decides is important for our entire path, and then after that, it's what we in our consciousness decide to make with that information. Why did I need to learn about death at such a young age? Why did I need to learn about community as opposed to family? Why did I need to learn about debt? Why did I need to learn about anything? And so that's kind of our greatest goal, understanding what our lessons are in life and how we can apply them. But also something that goes along with that is that when we have these past lives, they make us up who we are today. And something that I've had a lot of fun with recently is realizing that every single life is imprinted into my soul being today. So what does that look like? Well, I have a past life in the 40s. I know it. And I was a singer. And what do I like to sing the most? I love to sing songs from the 20s, 30s, and 40s. It goes well with my voice. I can even get into that channeling and feeling. And sometimes the voice that comes out of me when I'm singing in that genre doesn't even sound like the voice that I'm trying, that is me today, you know? And then there are other times where maybe I channel a past, like lover situation where I am discerning and discerning today, but in the past, maybe I was overgiving. And maybe that's translating into today what happened then. So I like to call these symptoms of past lives, but they're karmic reoccurrences. So today we're going to talk about remembering, because in my research, I have learned from other Akashic practitioners that all of those beings out there, they're watching us, they're looking at us, they're observing us, because to them, humans on the planet Earth are a very fascinating, fascinating species. And the thing that's so fascinating about us is that we have the ability to not remember. That when we start our life anew, we are fresh, we are clean, it is new. It is not something that we then continue and drudge through unless we open ourselves up to it and also remember that. But in other star galaxies, there's an understanding that as these star beings reincarnate, they remember everything. The moment they are born, they remember all the people that they hurt, all the people that they loved. They remember all the people that they maybe had horrible encounters with that changed their entire karmic path for all of time. We, on the other hand, we don't remember. We are fresh, we are babies, and each time we come into an incarnation in this life, it is like the first. Now, what's happening with this huge shift and this energetic shift is that people are remembering. And how beautiful is it to remember not only the things of our early life, this being, this life, but to remember things of our past lives. To remember that maybe the reason today that I am having such a hard time with love is because I didn't trust men in my past life. Maybe the reason today that I have a hard time with my mother is because in a past life, she sold me into marriage. And I'm just giving these scenarios and making them up as I go. But it's also something to remember that we have symptoms in this life of our past lives, just like we have symptoms of relationships in this current life. So if someone steals your purse and just steals all your stuff from you, chances are you're probably not going to ask them to house sit for you. You know, like, why would I trust you now if a week ago you stole from me? Well, if we look at our whole life like this, we can realize that there's a similarity. But the opportunity that we have with learning and remembering is to clear karma. That is the major point. When we remember past lives, when we remember past relationships with people, when we remember past scenarios that we ourselves, our soul beings, whether it's in this body or not, have gone through, and now we can articulate what the symptoms of that occurrence are from the past life into this life, we can remember that we don't have to let it affect us. We can cut that karma. Cut it out. So, with that being said, on remembrance, let's go ahead and get into a nice, comfortable place, wherever you are. And why don't we just close your eyes and take 3 tuning in breaths to kind of just drop into our bodies. So, closing the eyes and filling the lungs all the way, that deep belly breath, filling up. And exhale. Dropping into the body. Deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. From the centered place, we clear our egos, we clear our minds, and we imagine that there is a nice, beautiful pitcher of water hovering right above our heads. And this pitcher of water, again, is filled with that divine mother's water. It's so clean, so crisp, so pure. Remembering that water is one of the easiest elements to charge. And so we charge this water with ultimate love, Mahatma love. And it is sparkling and glowing. And this pitcher of water then begins to tilt. And it pours over our crown chakra, over our head, and rolls over every inch of our body. And we visualize this, we feel it. So I want you to imagine this water just pouring over every inch of your body, just rolling. And it rolls over your face, your hair, your neck. Your shoulders, covering you with this divine mother's water. Rolls down your back, over each and every vertebrae. It rolls over your shoulders, over your breasts, your chest, your abdomen, your groin, your hips, your reproductive organs, your thighs. It rolls, cleansing, clearing anything today that doesn't serve you. And it rolls down over the knees, the backs of the legs, the fronts of the shins, the calves, down over the ankles. Gently just covering every inch of our body. Rolling down over the tops of the feet, the ankles, the heel, the toes, in between the toes, the bottoms of the feet. And as we get to the last bit of our body rolling down, this water then rolls off of our body. And as it rolls off of our body, it begins to absorb into Mother Earth. We give back to her. And she transmutes anything that doesn't serve us. She says, that is why I am here, to regenerate. Give me the things that you cannot carry that are too heavy. Everything comes from the earth. You can give it back. She says, let me take care of those things so you can be your highest form of your individual light being. We are light weavers, and we travel lightly. And as Mother Earth absorbs this water, we then feel so fresh, so renewed. Tuning into the root chakra now, we drop a nice cord from this center, this red root chakra. We pull our Mula Bandha up, and we drop a cord. And this cord goes down, down, down through the earth, down through the layers of the earth. It goes all the way down until we see the center of the earth, the core of the earth. And this core is the heart of Mother. And we attach our cord. We ask permission and we attach our cord to the heart of the Mother, keeping us grounded, keeping us centered, keeping us here because we are human, we are earthlings, we are physical. But also as an anchor so that when we go up to sea, we can come back down and integrate. So from this red root chakra that has a cord drop to the center of the earth, we breathe into this root chakra, filling it with all of Mother's universal and divine love. Breathing into this root chakra, we feel that love. Now moving up past the root chakra, we breathe into the sacral chakra. Moving into the solar plexus now. The heart. throat. Third eye. Crown. In this crown chakra, we visualize a beautiful lotus flower. We continue to breathe into this crown chakra as we open the lotus flower up, up, up to the ethers. It's on our head, but we open ourselves up to it. And it begins to unfurl, this beautiful lotus flower. And as it continues to unfurl, we take a deep breath in. And from the center of this flower, a beam of light connects us up to Mother, Father, God Source, to Spirit, to the universal light, to the ethers, to all the star beings, to that which connects us up. And we are completely connected up. We are completely connected down. And from these places, we bring that energy into our center. Into our heart. Knowing that we can come back to this place at any time. That we can ground ourselves and open ourselves up and then find our balance in our heart. So the first image that I have coming through with remembering is the image of a sunflower. And it's a very, very detailed image where you can see each and every little crevice of this sunflower. All of the layers of petals. The center of this sunflower, the nice center, round, brown center with each and every little bump, creating within it the flower of life. The sacred geometry that connects us to all plants. And the details of this flower bring us to the leaves and the stalk. And the stalk runs all the way down from this open flower, all the way down, 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 passing a leaf each time, looking at the fine details of the leaf. And down from the stalk where it meets the earth. That's not the entirety of the sunflower, for we know that the reason that it can stand so tall is because its roots go so deep. And so we observe these roots. We look at them. We see what they look like. Maybe you can even smell them or taste them, that dirt. See all the fine details. The records are teaching us to be observant and objective. To view things objectively. without having any sort of emotional attachment to what you might see. Again, this entire soul's path has information for us on how we can integrate and clear the karma of today. So if we get hung up on the pain and the suffering of the past, we've already gone through it. We were already there. We don't have to feel that pain anymore, but we can remember that it happened. It's just like a child scraping his knee after falling off of his bike. He can think about when he fell off his bike every time he gets onto it. But the physical pain of the scraping of the knee, he doesn't feel it anymore. But he remembers that maybe he should go a little slower because of what happened last time. And so that's what we're kind of doing today in this life. We're observing. So tuning into the third eye now. The third eye is located in the center of the forehead, just above the nose, between the eyes, creating that nice triangle. Us third dimensional beings having our three eyes. And when we open our third eye, we go into the multiple dimensions. Tuning into your third eye right this minute, allow yourself to observe. So when going into the Akashic Records, I have this nice analogy that whenever an image shows up, do not think it's crazy. It's there for a reason. But to take that image, whether it's a picture of a house, a picture of a flower, or anything, and to hold it like it's a tiny string. And then as you begin to pull it, it begins to unravel this entire story. Tune into that. And as you do that, I'm going to play some singing bowl. What image pops up for you? How can you follow it? Knowing that you are completely protected and completely watched after by all the angels. So tuning into this third eye of remembrance, we open ourselves up to receive any messages from our past lives. And maybe it doesn't exactly look like a message. Maybe it just looks like an image. into this remembrance phase, you see a person, a being. You're walking up to this being. And as you get closer to this being, you then begin to see who they are. You remember them. And as you approach them, you see that they have something that they have to give to you. In their hands. A gift for you. And this gift is a small tool to remember. Something, anything. And they hand this gift to you and you receive it, and it's like something so profound and yet so simple. What is that being? What is that object? What are you being reminded of? Also letting go of the attachment of anything being profound. It could be very simple. I've had times in meditations where something intense has popped up for me and I said, okay, can we lighten it up a little bit? And then all of a sudden I just see a clown. It doesn't really mean anything beyond that. It's just spirit guides keeping it light. Drawing attention again now to that third eye, receiving that information, receiving that memory, that object, that item that will allow you to remember. And if it brings up a memory right away, cool, awesome. Write it down, put it in a journal. If it doesn't, and you're like, why did this being hand me a sailboat? Watch out in your life. Watch out for the things and the synchronicities, because our memories come from all around us. All around us. And what I've learned is that they don't all come at once. I've been having a little bit of a back and forth with myself of other people remembering things about me and me not remembering them right away and being a little frustrated by it. I'm like, why do you know this about me but I don't? Well, the memories that I am having right now are ones that are serving the path that I'm on, the phase that I am in this life. A lot of them being personally around love. And I'm receiving that information, those memories around who and how I used to love. And as I go into those memories of my past love lives, I then gain the wisdom and the understanding as to why I move through my love life today the way that I do. And then from that information of the past, and then the integration of the present, I can let go of the karma that doesn't serve me. And that's why we remember. We remember to then free ourselves. Coming back to this space, coming back to this moment. Thanking the records for all they had to show us today, even if it was small or big or whatever was shown to us today. Thank you. Thank the records. Thank our guides, our guardians, our angels, our ancestors, all the ascended masters. Before we leave, I'd like to ask the records if there's anything else that the collective needs to know in this future, in this moment, for the future. It's funny because I can tell people my process about getting into these images, and I say to other people, it may not make sense at first, and sometimes it doesn't make sense. Sometimes the things that come through, you're like, okay, that's weird, but then when you say it, it makes sense to the other person. Right now, it's important to not be overtaken by the emotions of our reactions to ourselves. When we react to ourselves, it's important to not have these huge, deep, debilitating emotions. And it's reminding us to pull the perspective back a little bit and to objectively see what's happening. And then ask yourself if you've ever done this before. If you've ever been in this circumstance before. And if you want to at that point get into a meditation, you can. But it'll be in that moment where you have an opportunity to remember objectively. And with that, I'll tell you a beautiful story. I was at the sandwich shop the other day, journaling, kind of getting together my thoughts on what today should be focused around. And this little girl and her mom walk into the shop to pick up a to-go order. And as they're leaving, the little girl, she must have been like 3 or 4. She said, "Mom, can I show her my new dance move?" And the mom was like, "Yeah, go ahead." And she just, she is so funny. And she just does this dance move. And she's doing these spins and all these other things. And the clerk at the counter is like, "Yeah, good job." And her mom goes, "She's a performer." And I got to witness that moment of her just being in her power and doing these things. And I thought, wow, what a wonderful memory to experience. Because this little girl, she does this probably everywhere she goes. And to be in a place where I get to observe it, the early memories of her life. Because when she's older, her mom will still say she's always been a performer. And she'll have these memories of when she was younger. And maybe she won't. Maybe that wasn't even a significant memory for her. But it's a part of her blueprint. It's a part of her path. And I had this beautiful moment of observing her and thinking, wow, I wonder if she was a performer in a past life. I wonder who she was to create such confidence and light today, what she went through. And then I remembered that we all have that. That as children, when we did certain things, we were even more open then to our soul's divine path. So maybe have a session with yourself, a meditation session with yourself, remembering who you were as a child, because it might bring light to who you were in past lives and can also help you with who you are today. So I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the shift in time. It makes it a lot easier. And then thank you for showing up. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take it easy. Get the things that you need to get done today. Get them out of the way, because we're about to go into a Mercury retrograde Saturday night. And it's just good to be prepared for these things. All right. I love you all so dearly. I will see you soon. This is the last of these meditations for now. We did 4. And we're going to take a little break while I go on another little trip to Oregon for the Oregon Eclipse Festival. I hope you find a beautiful place. Oh, Jenny. I hope you find a beautiful place to see the eclipse and feel its beautiful effects on your life. Again, I do Akashic Record readings for people where I tune into your specific Akashic Records, and we go through these karmic things that you may be going through today. We go through relationships that you may be trying to navigate today. We go through past lives and current things and whatever way that you want to navigate the session is where we go with it. I do them via Skype. I do a sliding scale, so whatever feels comfortable for you. Reach out. I would love to connect with you on that. I love you all so dearly. Have a great weekend. Bye.